I want you to take a second and try to remember a specific feeling. It's a feeling that most of us haven't felt in years. I'm talking about the 90s or the early 2000s. You're 8 years old, trapped in the backseat of your parents' car. There is no iPad, there's no Wi-Fi. Your Nintendo DS died 2 hours ago, and your phone, if you even had one, was a plastic brick that did nothing but play Snake. You are staring out the window, you're watching the power lines rise and fall. You're counting raindrops on the glass. You're making up stories about the people in the cars passing by. You were bored, miserably, painfully, beautifully bored. Back then, boredom felt like a vacuum. It was a space that needed to be filled. And because you had no external device to fill it, your brain did something miraculous. It turned inward. You started to imagine. You started to wonder. You started to talk to yourself. But something happened over the last decade. We didn't just solve boredom, we murdered it. And today, I want to talk about why that might be the greatest tragedy of the digital age. Think about your morning today. From the moment your eyes opened, did you give yourself even 60 seconds of silence? Or did you reach for the rectangle on your nightstand before you even stretched your legs? We have become terrified of the micro moments. The 30 seconds waiting for the elevator, the 2 minutes standing in line for coffee, the walk from the front door to the car. These used to be the lapses in our day, the moments where our minds could reset. Now, we treat those moments like bugs in a software program that need to be patched. We fill every crack in our schedule with a scroll, a swipe, or a notification. We've become a society of people who are physically present but mentally elsewhere. And the cost of this instant entertainment is higher than we think. When we kill boredom, we kill the default mode network of our brain. That's the scientific term for the state your brain enters when you aren't focused on an external task. It's the state where we process our emotions, where we solve complex problems, and where we construct our sense of self. By reaching for our phones every time we feel a hint of dullness, we are effectively starving our souls of the space they need to breathe. We aren't just distracted. We are becoming strangers to ourselves. It's not entirely our fault. We are living in an attention economy designed by geniuses to ensure that boredom never happens. Every app on your phone is a casino. The pull to refresh mechanism is the same as a slot machine. The red notification bubble is a chemical trigger. They have mapped our dopamine receptors better than we've mapped the ocean floor. We are being conditioned to believe that silence is a symptom of loneliness, and that being alone with our thoughts is a failure of productivity. We've been sold the lie that we should always be learning something, consuming something, or optimizing something. But here is the melancholic truth. Some of the most important realizations of your life will never happen while you're watching a 15-second video. Your brain cannot tell you what it truly wants if you are constantly shouting over it with a podcast or a playlist. We've built a world where nothing is no longer an option. And in doing so, we've lost the ability to be still. We are like sharks that have to keep swimming through content just to stay alive, terrified of what might happen if we just stopped. Last week, I tried something that felt genuinely scary. I decided to sit on my balcony for 20 minutes. No phone, no book, no music, just me and the sound of the traffic 3 floors down. The first 5 minutes were brutal. My hand kept twitching toward my pocket. My brain was screaming for stimulation. It felt like an itch I couldn't scratch. I felt restless, anxious, and honestly, a little bit stupid. But around the 10-minute mark, something shifted. The anxiety faded, and curiosity took its place. I started noticing the way the light hit the bricks on the building across from me. I remembered a conversation I had with a friend 3 years ago that I hadn't thought about in ages. I started to feel solid. I realized that my mind is like a jar of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, keep scrolling, keep watching, keep listening, it stays cloudy. But if you let the jar sit still on the table, the mud eventually sinks to the bottom. The water becomes clear. Boredom is the act of letting the jar sit still. It's the process of letting the noise of the world settle so you can actually see what's at the bottom of your own mind. It turns out I didn't need more information. I needed more space. I'm not here to tell you to delete your apps or move to a cabin in the woods. That's not realistic. We live in the digital world, and it has its benefits. But I am here to suggest that we need to invite boredom back into our lives, even if it's just in small doses. We need to reclaim the lapse. Leave your phone in the car when you go for a walk. Don't put your headphones on while you're doing the dishes. Let your mind wander while you're waiting for the microwave to beep. Boredom is not the enemy of happiness. It is the soil in which your true self grows. It's the only place where original ideas are born. So, as this video ends, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to give you another video to watch immediately. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of silence before the screen goes black. Don't reach for your phone, just sit with it. This is Lapse Mind. Thanks for listening.